guys, it's Rach. Today I'm going to be doing another travel tip video, this time showing you what is in my travel makeup bag. And I'm also going to be doing a review of a travel makeup bag, or in this instance a case. This is the Kit Cosmetics Jet Setter travel makeup case, and it's quite a unique kind of bag. It does have quite a few similarities to the Laura Mercier custom artist portfolio, which has gotten a little bit of play on YouTube. Not a lot, probably because it's about 98 US dollars. I'm not quite sure what the Australian price is, but I'm guessing it's similar if not more, so quite a hefty price tag. This one is still definitely on the pricey side. This is $69.95 and you can get it from Kit Cosmetics in store or on the Kit Cosmetics website. So still pricey, but definitely a cheaper alternative if that's something that you would like to try out. It is hot pink, which isn't quite as luxurious looking as the Laura Mercier one, but you are less likely to leave this in a hotel room because it's so bright. It stands out for sure. I don't think you could miss this walking out of a hotel room. Definitely out there. Hot pink. Inside the case itself, you can see we have a couple of pouches on one side, then we have a zipper detachable brush holder, and then another couple of pouches on the other side. So I'm just going to show you what is in each, and as we go I'll talk a little bit more about the bag. So let's actually zip apart the brushes first. So this is a little brush holder here. It does detach, which I think is great. I know the Laura Mercier one has a pocket on the back. This one doesn't. It just has the brushes with a flap to cover it, which I think is nice. In here I have a range of brushes, kind of the minimum that I would use while traveling. I have a foundation brush here. This one is by Zoeva. I also have a little concealer brush, also by Zoeva. I have a blush brush. This one is by Hakuhodo. I have the MAC 109 brush, which I use for contouring or bronzing or things like that. A couple of powder brushes. This one is from MAC. I can use this for blush, I can use this for powder, multi-purpose. I also have this one here, which is from Furless, which I use for powder underneath the eyes and sometimes in my T-zone as well. A couple of eye brushes, although I really don't wear a lot of eyeshadow while traveling. I have three here. I have a dome shadow brush. This one is from Hakuhodo. I have a little MAC 224 blending brush, and then a smaller kind of dome brush, again also from Hakuhodo. And then lastly, I have a couple of Wayne Goss brushes, the number 2 brush, which I use for contouring, for highlighting, things like that. And then I also have the number 8 brush, which I can use to any kind of detail work, also particularly to use eyeshadow as eyeliner. So they are the brushes that I would have, and they all fit nicely in there. You can get full-size brushes to fit in here. However, I would say that if you use a lot of Real Techniques brushes, which I do use, you will struggle to fit these because they do have quite a thick base in there. So that's kind of a downside to this, but as you can see, I just chose not to include my Real Techniques brushes in this particular setting. Next, moving on to the pouches, we have two medium-sized pouches on this side. They are kind of have a mesh front, so you can see through them. Then they have magnets on the back, which I will say don't hold very well when these are full because they do become quite heavy, but they do a decent enough job of keeping everything in their place, and it makes it really easy to stay organized as well. So in this one we have the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact powder, which I would use as my pressed powder. I also have here the Kevyn Aucoin, the Sculpting Powder in medium, which is my favourite contour powder. You can also use this as an eyeshadow as well. And then I have the NARS Guy Borden palette, which is fantastic for travelling because it has some blushes in it. It also has a bronzer and a highlighter, as well as a really large mirror there. So I don't know if this is still available, but something like this is great for travelling. If you don't have something like this, obviously I'd just take a single bronzer, maybe a single highlighter if I was feeling like it. I don't always use highlight, so that may be something that I would throw out, or skip I mean, and maybe a blush or two depending on how sort of fussy you are. If you just have a favourite blush, just take one. Honestly, in the end, I think that you use a lot less makeup when you travel, and you are a lot less fussy with makeup when you travel. When I'm at home, I like a lot of choices. When I travel, I don't care as much, I find. One thing I would say about the pouches is that the zip doesn't quite go all the way to the end, so you'll find that even if the product will fit in, you do have to kind of put it in at an angle, and some really long products might not quite fit in these pouches. In the other medium-sized palette, I have all of my eye stuff. So I have here an eyelash curler. Don't go without that because sometimes I like to just go for really simple eye looks, no eyeshadow, just curl my lashes and apply some mascara. Speaking of mascara, I have the Kevyn Aucoin Volume Mascara, but any of your favourite mascaras, I recommend taking one because it's likely that you'll probably buy more while you're travelling unless you're going to the beach or something like that, and then you're probably not going to wear mascara anyway. I have the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, which is my favourite eyeshadow primer. I also have here the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This is the only eyeshadow I would take. Honestly, like I said, I don't really wear that much eyeshadow, but you can get dark looks with this, you can get light looks with this. It's got the highlight shade, it's just easy to use. You can use these colours in your brows as well if you don't even want to take a brow product. You can use the black as liner. It's really, really convenient and great for travelling because it's nice and compact. I do have two eyeliners here. I have a black liquid liner. This is the Maybelline Master Precise, which I like either to just line my lashes or for a flick if I feel like going a little bit fancy. And then I have the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Corrupt, which is a nice brown one. Again, something you can use for a softer look, maybe just to a tight line if you want to, or to smudge into your lower lash line and smudge it out a little bit for a little bit of a more sultry, smoky look. Then the last couple of things in here, gotta have brow products. I have the Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil, which is my favourite quick and easy brow pencil. It also has the spoolie on the end as well, so you don't need to take an extra one. And then I have the Benefit GimMe Brow. This one's in medium deep. Great again for days when you don't want to worry too much about your brows. Just adds a little bit of colour, a little bit of fullness, and also helps set the product in place. On the other side here you can see you have one skinny pouch and one larger size pouch. In the skinny pouch I keep lip products. Again, I probably take a few more than I need to, but I think if you just have a nude, a kind of more deeper colour, maybe a pink and a red, you're pretty good. And I would recommend a lot of these like chubby lip crayon kind of things because they're just so easy to apply, easy to chuck in your bag, easy to reapply on the go. So I have the Revlon Matte Balm in Sultry, one of my favourites. I have a nude gloss. This is the Chi Chi Dramatic Lip Lacquer in Bombshell. I have a more pinky lip colour. This is the Lasting Finish Colour Rush Long Lasting Intense Colour Balm from Rimmel, and this is in the shade Keep Moving, which is what's on my lips today. I have a red. This is the NARS Satin Lip Pencil in Hyde Park. And then I also chucked in two lipsticks because they're my favourites. I have 107 Kate Moss Matte Lipstick by Rimmel. Really nice deep colour. And then I have the Chanel Rouge Coco Shine in Boy, which is a great everyday kind of nude colour. So they are the lip products. And then last but not least, in this big pouch here, I have the face and kind of base products. So I always travel with my Embryolisse La Creme Concentrate because it's my favourite like daytime moisturiser, and I usually apply it every morning before I apply my makeup, just as a bit of a primer and to just prep my skin. For a primer, I have the Anoxic Skin Perfecting Pore Vanishing Cream. This is great as like a primer for the T-zone. It helps reduce like the look of my pores and also fine lines under my eyes. And because it has a little bit of a concealer in it, if I'm having a good skin day, I can apply this and then a bit of powder, and I find that this like corrects the colour of this area, which is usually where I have a little bit of redness or a bit of darkness, and then I can just apply the powder and I'm pretty much good to go. For concealer, I have my Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Concealer because I love this for the face, and I can use it under my eyes as well. But for more of a brightening and highlighting concealer, I have the Ellis Fast little pen concealer here, which I really like and have in the lighter shade, so I can use under my eyes, and I can also use for sort of cream highlighting a little bit as well. Then for foundation, I have kind of two. I have the Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet Foundation, and I picked this one out of all my foundations because the packaging is great for traveling. It's a good foundation that can be used both in the daytime and at nighttime as well, and I think it gives a decent amount of coverage. It's not full coverage, but it's not super light as well, so it's that nice in-between happy medium. And then I also really enjoy the Tarte Amazonian Clay Airbrush Foundation. I think this is good for traveling because it's quick and easy and it's lightweight, but it also gives coverage and will keep you matte throughout the day. I think it's a good one, particularly if you're going on like a summer holiday. So I have that, and then a little kabuki brush to apply that with, and that's everything in that little pouch. So that is everything that I have in my travel makeup bag. I would say that the pros for this is that it is a hard shell with a little bit of flex in it, but because everything is so quite like compact, it does protect your makeup quite well, and it's a good size to fit in your suitcase because you can kind of like sit it and then like pile clothes on top of it and underneath it, so you can keep it protected, and it will fit nicely, I think, in a suitcase like the way that I pack anyway. The few downsides that it does have: one, I'd say it's probably not as luxurious looking as the Laura Mercier one, and it is probably not as well made, and it is still on the expensive side, so that's definitely a downside. The other thing that I would say is that it is limiting to how much makeup you can take. As you can see, I have to really squish this shut with that amount of makeup, and I think that some people would probably be inclined to pack even more than what I have in this one at this point. So you definitely can't take a lot of makeup, which I think in some ways is probably a good thing because it stops you from overpacking. Although one way to get around that is that you could take out the brush holder and store that separately and just have the pouches, and then you can fit more in there. But overall, I do think this is a good makeup case, and if you can't get your hands on the Laura Mercier one, then this is a nice alternative if you do want to spend that $70 on it. It is expensive, but think about how much your makeup is worth, and protecting it is probably important given that I would easily have a lot more than $70 worth of makeup and brushes here. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have any questions about any of the makeup that I packed or about the bag, definitely let me know in the comments below, as well as telling me where you're traveling, if you're traveling somewhere soon, and what makeup you intend on taking or what makeup you do take when you do travel. If you've got any tips of trying to pack and keep everything safe, stop things from breaking, or I guess a way to take as minimal as possible, because I am the worst overpacker. I think I did quite well to get my makeup down to this amount, then share them with me and everyone else. I'd love to hear. And other than that, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye!
When nobody knows, guns hidden under our petticoats. No, we never got greedy, no, we never got greedy, no. Now run, run away.